If you're watching this video, then chances are you are a fan of Silent Hill, or at least have heard about this amazing franchise. However, have you ever stopped to think about who Harry really is? In order to shed a clearer light on this seemingly unassuming character, we'll be first taking a look at its two predecessors, out of which one would actually become his brother, some would say. So get comfortable, turn off the lights, and let the show begin. In Alone in the Dark, the father of Resident Evil and Silent Hill, you play as Professor Edward Carnby, a private investigator and expert in paranormal activities. He's graduated in chemistry, physics, and a history of religion and arts. He's arrogant, bitter towards other people, and has little to no empathy. He's like a dark version of Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot, if you will. Edward Carnby is no stranger to the events of violence he takes part in Alone in the Dark. Just take a look at the sequence where Carnby reads a letter. It gives a very clear picture of who he is, what he does, and what he's capable of. In Resident Evil 1, Silent Hill's older brother, you play as members of the Alpha Team of Raccoon Police Department's STARS team. STARS stands for Special Tactics and Rescue Service, and those guys are tough. They've had extensive training in combat tactics, the usage of firearms, and survival in hostile environments. And one of them was even a master of unlocking.
Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
Thanks. Maybe I'll need it.
Granted, Resident Evil was most of STAR's Alpha Team's first encounter with zombies, hunters, and such. But just think about it. Even if the opposing force was something they had never faced before, their combat protocol still stood. They had training and experience in hostile scenarios. Highly hostile. In Resident Evil 1's case, there's even the psychological aspect of the characters' outfits. Even without any sort of context, if you take one look at each of the Alpha Team's members, you instantly know they're some sort of military force. They have combat boots, vests, holsters, and such. This alone boosts the player's confidence in himself, at least to an extent. Now, on the other hand, just take a look at Harry. What does he have? Plain jeans, a leather jacket, and straight-up common boots. You're actively shown from the very outset that you're playing as a plain, common, regular man. And since this is also a third-person game, you'll always be looking at him, so this fact will never leave your subconscious. He was a nobody, really. An average Joe. If in Alone in the Dark, you could pretend you were an experienced paranormal investigator, and in Resident Evil 1, you were put in the shoes of elite combatants. In Silent Hill, you're someone who's just an ordinary man. And maybe even more ordinary than you are in real life. All of the events Harry witnesses are completely alien to him, both in shape and intent. As previously stated, he's no paranormal specialist or soldier. After the car crash, which sets the game's events in motion, Harry wakes up alone, with his daughter nowhere to be seen. His car has been completely totaled, and the road he came through has been blocked by an inexplicable cave-in. So, even if he does find his daughter, there's no possibility of an extraction by chopper like the Alpha Team members had. There's no thinking, I'm a part of a tactical unit, my boys will come looking for me. If I survive long enough. Sure, pretty soon into the game, he meets Sybil Bennett, a frosty cop from the neighboring town of Brahms, who's also important to the story and does team up with Harry, but she's the one with combat training, not you. And also, not once do Sybil and Harry explore the danger of Silent Hill together throughout the game. Harry's forced to dive deeper into the madness if he has any hope of making it out of the cursed place alive with his daughter. It wouldn't be a stretch to argue that Harry's sanity and will to live are maintained only by the relentless driving force of a parent who wishes to protect their child. And for such an average man, what he does manage to achieve is quite memorable. Well played, Team Silent. Good going, Harry. And if you wish to support our channel in a more direct manner, then make sure to check out our Patreon and Buy Me Coffee pages. The links are just down below. You can also become a member right here on YouTube. Yes, we have different tiers with different levels of rewards. It's pretty simple, just click the join button below. And lastly, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Your support means the world to us. See you next time.